So when people come to you, right, they watch celebrities. For celebrities, it is their bread and butter. They have to look a specific way. When people come to you, what are the common things that they say? Oh, I want to look like a specific celebrity. And when they ask that, what is your reaction to that?
I've said this before, that I'm lucky that I have a fairly reasonably evolved clientele, and we're also people that walk with people on the journey. Usually the process is such that I get better insights into what they really want over time. So we always stagger the journey a little, saying like, here is how you look now, but these are our goals for now. You come back and we'll see what works for you, and then we will. So I'm not generally a person that likes to fix everything at first visit.
Okay.
I don't think that's even practical, because I would like to know what the person is about and usually the consultation in we are a bunch of 5 dermatologists together. I am in different teams depending on who needs me. So all of us, for us, the at the clinic, all of us, the thought process is that we would like to add value.
Okay.
We would like to know them more, and we would like to see what it is that will give them maximum value versus doing everything by the book.
Okay.
We're super conservative in general. And one of the key qualities is to identify what must not be changed. Right? It is something that, if somebody has a very strong perception of themselves as having, I would never put I would never use a dominating lipstick, because this is my hero feature. My lips and my chin and my nose are my hero features. Now, if I were to play up my eyes, because I know that they are smaller, I know that they are probably they could have been more symmetrical. Right eye is smaller than the left, I guess. So it is smaller than the left. So I could try and achieve symmetry, or I could deflect it with my brows.
Okay.
I would choose to let this speak for itself, and then see which is the next feature to kind of harmonize it. This is different from person to person. So how much ever somebody wants to look like another person, unless they look like a photocopy of them, they can't look the same way, because there may be a different grammar to that face. And one of the key things is to try and not disturb the most interesting aesthetic about a person, but to identify what enhances it and what deflects the off features. It's as simple as that. Not a lot of genericness that we can do.
Okay.
20 years ago, at least, and now still in places like, in the West, I have people that visit here that tell me, like, where we come from, we need to be seen as having done some work, because that translates to, here's somebody that is actually taking care of themselves. So if you do a lip filler, it has to show. And in here, people will be like, I will do a lip filler, but not even people in my family
should know.
Like, okay, you wear a mask. Because for the first 2 days, it's going to show.
Yeah.
But then that's the aesthetic over here. Like you would want somebody trying to do injectables and nobody should know. And that's why here, non-invasive procedures, so people are talking about texture, people are talking about, not having pigmentation. Those are much bigger goals than people wanting to transform themselves.
Okay.
It used to be there, but I think it's fallen off along the way. Now we will quote one of our not so famous god men, the me in me quote. You've heard of it?
Yeah.
Right? There's some truth to it.
There is. Actually, there is.
There's a whole relatability factor.
Yes.
Where we are put off by people that look perfect in a way that there is nothing to be fixed, or every feature looks perfect in itself but doesn't come together as a heartwarming, welcoming visage.
Correct.
So the me, which is coming in with my whole baggage, would like to see the me in you, which is connecting to me, saying, I'm also not all that perfect. Can we hang out together? Yeah. Or you close off saying like, oh, that's so perfect over there. May not like me as much. Or you get into a different image where, oh, she's perfect, I'm perfect, but then your relationship is at the level where you're judging at that, then you don't get past that layer, which is, for us, appearance is one thing, no? We like, somebody looks great till they open their mouth. You speak had to fix it. And it used to be big dating advice back then. He looks great, but you got to let him speak. So you remember that used to be the standard. I mean, you're like a good decade between us, but that used to be the standard advice from seniors.
It's still the
It
case.
still is. It used to be when one of the Yes Minister things. She looks good from far, but when she speaks, she looks far from good. One of the Yes Minister quotes, I think.
This is very interesting. Very interesting. But of late, there is this one trend where most of the actresses look the same.
Mm-hmm. You may not see it as much in South India.
Yeah.
The genericity is far lesser here.
Okay. I mean, what is the science behind wanting to look a specific way? Is it symmetry? What is it?
See, there is a equivalent input from what the industry has been, the beauty industry has been saying that here are the standards. Like Pantone colors, they give out values. Like, is this the Pantone color of the year? For example, in Japan, there used to be one crazy beauty trend where people actually inject a lot of saline into the forehead where it swells up and they create a donut there. I know. Yeah. And there used to be the huge, massive lip fillers where people had to be seen that they are able to afford fillers and look a particular way.
Okay.
Like they can get transformed. I don't think it ever took off in the South because for us, skin clarity, skin pigmentation are big deals. Fairness is a bigger concept for all the connotations that come with it. Fairness is a huge concept in our culture. Of late, it has moved in a very healthy way to skin reflectance and skin clarity. It's a much welcome respite because earlier people used to come and say things like, I want to look as fair as a wall. I'm like, okay, but then you will look like a wall. That's about it. So, I know that used to be, the case back then. But then the genericity has fallen off quite massively after we have access to all kinds of world images, all kinds of populations, how people look, ethnicities, thanks to social media.
Okay.
Now, you know that a person from the Far East looks a particular way. So you are able to understand that that is also a kind of a face.
Okay.
From the Middle East, that's a kind of a face. So now, because we're constantly exposed to multiple ethnicities through our social media interactions. Now, earlier we used to look at people who used to henna their hair and they used to, like, yeah, Trump is also like that.
Yes.
Right. you see that. Right? There's so much all over the place. Then now the whole idea of genericity is kind of taken down.
Okay.
And people are more comfortable saying that, okay, here is an attractive face and this is why it's attractive. I think the same fashion industry has come full circle to understanding or to be able to say that uniqueness matters and some relatability matters. And so we go back to the me and me. I would have never thought that I would think so deeply about that.
No, I mean, you as a person is quite a deep person, but to take reference from there and to put it here and understand it is coming from me, it's phenomenal. I just love that.